Am I the a-hole for saying I told you so to my sister when her son got kicked out of a charter school? My wife and I, both 35, are very fortunate to live in an area with a wonderful public school system. Both of our kids go to the local elementary school, and they are doing beautifully. There's a really good sense of community there as well. We're very happy. My sister lives near me, and she decided to send her son, 12, the charter school outside of our district. He's been there since first grade. She has the idea in her head that this is more elite as opposed to public school. I don't like charter schools for various reasons I'm sure most people know, but I guess I'm aware why they could be needed. I didn't act like I understood her choice, but it was her choice. Her son has some learning disabilities and I did caution her that sometimes charter schools can cut students like that, but she waved me off. Well, last year he got expelled because of low test scores. This year he started at the local middle school, which is fantastic. My sister doesn't think so though. She has done nothing but complain about the school and how they don't have MacBooks, they have Dell computers. They are fine, and things like that. She was at my house for coffee and just would not stop, so I finally said, "You're the one who sent him to charter school. You knew this could happen. I told you this could happen. Stop complaining." She did not take that well at all and left after yelling at me. Now my parents have called me saying she's incredibly upset, and while they aren't taking sides, I should probably apologize. The thing is though, I don't think I should. She was the one who chose to put her kid in charter schools knowing what a charter school was and could do. Am I the a-hole for telling my husband to not bring his daughters home or I'll leave with my kids every time they're over? My husband has two, 19 and 16, daughters from his previous relationship. He only sees them once or twice a week on his days off. It's because of his work schedule that he can't see them often. When they come over they usually stay for a short time, eat dinner or lunch, and talk with their dad. Sometimes they go out for a couple of hours. The problem is that they have no respect for me, my kids, and 16F constantly steals from our home. I don't mind if they just didn't want a relationship with me. But they constantly disrespect me, and insult me when I enter the room. They have insulted me for not working, I have a job but just recently had a baby, and make jokes how I'm using their dad for money, I make more money him. I have two sons from a previous relationship, 7M, and 9M, which they insult because they think my sons are too dumb to understand what they are saying. Yet they understand clearly and are hurt by it. I have talked to my husband about this, and he says it's all just jokes, and that he acted like that to his siblings. I have talked to them about it and they told their mom, who argued with my husband about it. 16F also steals. She'll say she's going to the bathroom and then enter the bedroom and take some cash. I have caught her doing this multiple times. My husband will make her give it back, then give her money from his own wallet. When I try to talk to her about it she tells her mom, who again argued with my husband. We have gotten locks for our rooms but she has just stolen other stuff instead. My kids avoid going to the kitchen or living room when the girls are over, and I'm tired of being worried that something is missing. I told my husband that he could spend time with the girls outside the house, and if he brought them over I'd just take the kids and leave until they're gone. Am I the a-hole for rescinding my offer to help with my niece's wedding? I have always been good with money and am careful with it. I also inherited a good chunk to be fair. I was able to retire last year fairly early as these things go. I am not married and have no children. My sister-in-law asked me to help with her daughter's wedding. This is my brother's stepdaughter, there is no blood relationship. I suppose she is not really my niece, but they call me her uncle. I initially told them I would help. I was thinking maybe $1,000 or so. I was going to give the same amount as a wedding gift, but they did not know that. They started booking things and asked if I could give them $15,000. Yes, I could, I just don't want to. I would give $1,000. My sister-in-law started pressuring me for more. I said no. $1,000 was a nice contribution for a step-uncle, for lack of a better term. She then got angry and called me names, etc. This is where I might be an asshole. I told her that the offer of any money is rescinded. I would not give a cent, not attend the wedding and not give a gift. She called me an awe and all sorts of other things. My brother called me and apologized for his wife and asked if I would consider $5,000. I told him that I loved him, but did not like his wife and that my decision to give nothing stands. Am I the a-hole for refusing to take part in sibling moments during my dad's wedding? So my dad is engaged to a woman, Ruth. Ruth has an almost 5-year-old daughter Lacey. Their wedding is planned for January, and ever since Ruth and Lacey moved in with us, Dad and me, and Lacey and I have been forced to share a room because it's a 2-bedroom house, Lacey has become obsessed with me. She thinks I'm the coolest person and she always wants to be around me. So Ruth came up with this idea of having sibling moments during the wedding where we embrace each other as true sisters for the first time. She mentioned it to Lacey before either her or my dad mentioned it to me. So Lacey was really excited and happy. But I'm not comfortable with the idea. I don't want to hold her during a family unity ceremony is performed, I don't want to do a special sister dance where the spotlight is on us, and I don't want to make promises that I'm not sure I would keep. The promises were already printed out by Ruth and she showed me what I would need to say. It's basically I will always answer her calls, always call her my sister from that day forward, that I will be there for her and chase away the bullies and show her how to do things. It's not that I'm opposed to us being closer at all. But I won't be going out of my way to come home from college just to be there more with Lacey. I might not even stay at my dad's when I do because I don't want to share with Lacey. I already hate doing it now. I expressed that I didn't want to do those things during the wedding and Ruth was furious. My dad was like it would be so sweet and would be super cute to look back on when watching the wedding videos. Ruth was saying how excited Lacey now is and how I would crush her heart and soul and stomp on them if I refused to do it. She even claimed Lacey was saying how excited she was to have me as a sister forever and that she wants me to be her protector. Not sure I buy a 4-year-old saying all that. Ever since I said I didn't want to do those things I have been under a lot of pressure to give in and Ruth has been accusing me of rejecting Lacey and refusing to have anything to do with her. That's not what this is, but I don't love Lacey right now and I don't know that I will be playing the big sister role. It might be more like cousins because honestly I will be moving out as soon as I'm 18 to get a little more space. But this whole thing is starting to get to me. Am I the a-hole for yelling at my husband over bread? Whenever I buy something out of the ordinary with a specific dinner purpose in mind, my husband manages to find it and eat it. I am sure if I was planning to bake something and bought yeast, I would come home to find him completely distended and surrounded in empty yeast packets. I usually stick to the same grocery list every week, and I feel like if I buy something out of the ordinary that is clearly an ingredient for a larger meal, he could at least ask before devouring it. Last night, I bought 2 baguettes, which I have only ever purchased to make French bread pizza for him and our kids. I bought these at 11 p.m., and they were not even here 12 hours when I saw them on the counter, with the first 6 inches ripped off of each loaf, scanned the house, and saw my husband chewing. If it had been one loaf, okay. If he had used a knife, maybe. But the fact that he didn't ask if they were going to be for dinner and then ripped the top off of both of them like that final boss bloater in The Last of Us that lumbers out of the hole and rips the guy's head off, this is unforgivable. He insists I should tell him when I buy things if they are for a specific purpose. I say I am already taking on the burden of grocery shopping and cooking and the least he can do is ask.